Greetings. Sir Markadu here, your economic evangelist and your heart of a hustler. It is such an awesome time to be alive and to be able to service y'all tonight. Happy Monday. That's right, it's the Business Network Business Mixer right here at Heavenly Body Products, 2571 Park Central Boulevard. And so feel free to right now just take the time to invite some people into the feed, especially people that have children and grandchildren. This is going to be a hard hitting right to the cranium, and I'm going to move on. I'm never going to stop. This is to help God's people prosper. I mean, this is where we're at. I'm going through this over and over in my mind about the economics and what's really going on. What's going on in our communities, and every time I get to a certain space in my mind, I realize that I have so much work to do. We as a people, I'm talking about God's people now, not talking about Black people, but God's people, we have so much to get, too much information, but we have a lot of information in our own communities. Is remarkable. But we have these poor children, just like when we was children. Who was advocating for us to start a business when we were youth and young adults? Who? Some of us have. Some of us have been introduced to money and economics around people. Who on this feed right now has been introduced to economics through a parent, or an uncle, or a business associate when you were young? I mean, I know for a fact at the age of 10 years old, that I don't know why 10, but it's like that magic number when it comes to our youth and young adults. You hit that, you get somebody that's 9, 10, 11 years old, you give them access to economics, to products and services, and you educate them, and you give them access to other to books and videos and YouTube. And I was talking with a matter of fact, let me just go down the hall a little bit. Hold on, I'm sorry. I was getting ready to get busy. Well, again, I'm Sir Markadu, your economic evangelist, and this is being brought to you by Heavenly Body Products. And also where we help God's people prosper, and also Chronic Killer, where we keep the hood smelling good, kills all chronic odors. If you want to reach out to me, feel free to reach out to me at 404-578-3549. Listen, I'm not beyond a reproach. You can get in touch with me. You want to know more about how we can work together and bring economics to your family and to your community. That's what I'm here for. I'm here hard to pay. I'll tell you, because the relationship between me and money is getting ready to go way up here. I'm getting ready to separate myself from the have-nots. It's just the way it is. I always had the ability to do it, but now, I done spent a lot of time down here. And this is where I wanted to spend my time. But now I'm ready to spend my time up here. I get ready to work with other companies and other organizations who want to grow and flourish and be able to teach their children how to get it. This is also being brought to you by the Black Billionaires Club. Feel free to go ahead and get that link right there. Get that link right there, and that link will take you places, okay? Let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to do this. Copy. I'm getting better at this thing now. There we go. Got it nice and steady for you right there. The Black Billionaires Club going to be a part of a bold new movement for financial improvement. That's what it's all about, folks. Helping each other get that money. Each one reach one, each one teach one. Get that paper. But don't sleep on the Black Billionaires Club. We're doing some heavy lifting over there. If you ever want to get a quick interview with me, it's one-on-one with Sir Markadu, please reach out and touch me. Please like and share This is what we know that sharing is caring, okay? And it is what it is. We get ready to release that. It's going down. We're releasing the Economic Evangelism University. It's happening. It's going down. Just go on and check in with the page. And we're located at 2571 Park Central Boulevard in Decatur, Georgia. And we keep, right here in Decatur where it's greater. Go on packages.chronicler.com. I had some people calling in today. It's going down, my brothers and sisters. We need each other. We must band together. We need each other because we're all we got. Okay? Somebody put in the feed. We all we got. Okay, we must band together. Okay? So where are we getting ready to get in here? Okay, we're going to creating a business legacy for our children and our grandchildren. And I would venture out to say our children's children. Because how many generations would we like to see our legacy go? Because listen, it's crazy because it happens in a blink of the eye. We're here today, gone tomorrow. Okay? Here we go. How you doing out there? What's up, Aunt? Now is your time. Praise God. Happy Monday, sister. Boston in the house. Boston strong. Yes, indeed. Please share with others. Our future is dependent on us to get this right. We need each other because we all we got. Okay? Here we go. Jeremy, what's going on with you? First, I want to say again, Anthony, thanks for chiming in. Jeremy said, "What it do? What it do?" What's up, JJ in the house? He said, Lisa Tariq. Yeah, that's it. Link people in right now. This is the time, especially people that have children and grandchildren. We can't play around. I'm going. Okay, all right. You'll see in a minute. Please share this. Look at Jeremy doing his thing. That's what I'm talking about. Linking people in. Please make sure you let yourself be known that you're in. Jeremy doing it. That's what I'm talking about. Sharing is caring. That's linking them together. You want to be if you want to be a part of the broadcast tonight, it makes sense to you to chime in. Make sure your camera's right and come on in. Here we go. The Black Billionaires Club. Chantel, how you doing, Queen? This is one of the sisters I'm telling you that's in the community that's exposing her child to economics. I mean, and Chantel, you know, and I know, you can introduce your children to economics, but it's really up to them if they're really gonna gravitate towards it. But I tell people, it doesn't matter. Keep exposing them to it. Sometimes, you hate to force your children to be a part of the economic scene, but, I did it to my children. I mean, my son Mark fought me we fought for a while. But nowadays, he's grown up, and I'm getting ready to do a podcast on, are you getting older, but are you getting wiser? Okay? But I'm getting ready to get into this. I'm going to show you why it's important to do it, okay? But we all we got. That's all I'm talking about. We all we got. Listen, how many of us really believe that? How many people really believe that we all we got? Now I want to say, how many of y'all believe that that's not true? There's too many people coming down, knocking on your door to say that we are the prosperity police and we're here, we're kicking the door in. It's critical, brothers and sisters. I'm going to show you in a minute how critical it is that we understand what we do with our children and our children's children. We all we got. And guess what? That's enough. Thank you, brother. My brother. Everett Jefferson. Hey, do Amina. Hey, son, the Center for is in honor of Mikey. Hey, it's going down. You know, hey, listen, this is one of my sisters right here. That just believes in the community. But we have work to do, serious work. Whatever it is, listen. And I said it to somebody the other day, and it was so ironic. And I said, do you know what the next wave of business owners is going to be? They said, no. I said, ex-convicts, ex-prostitutes, ex-gangbangers, drug users, and drug dealers. And they said, what made you come up with that? I said, it's a fact. But they said dairy. And I said, no, it's an absolute fact. Why? Because there's nowhere else for them to go once they learn how to do economics and they really apply it, they're going to end up being the teachers that teach their own people where they come from. I'm doing it. I come straight out of the hood, straight from the Gap. Trust me, I come from hood rat status. But I'm not defined by that. I'm refined by it. I took that hood mentality and turned the hood rich. There's nothing like being from the ghetto. That's right here. It's nothing like coming from poor, humble beginnings and learn. You know, and learn how to make some serious loot. Let me tell you, what's his name? Herman Russell. I don't know his middle initial, but H.J. Russell, something like that. And Herman Russell, you know, he was a slave, came from slave owners, and turned it all around. Let me keep going. Yes, sir. You're so on point. We have to expose our children. There's nobody else going to do it. We got to be in love with each other to get to where we need to be. If we're not going to love each other, at least appreciate each other. Somebody put in appreciate each other. We have to appreciate each other. Now, you don't have to love me. I wish you did, because if you love me, it'd be a whole lot easier to do, because I love you, but I appreciate you more. We're getting ready. Let's go. We're gonna kick off in there. Just want to make sure I acknowledge my brothers and sisters. Because am I my brother and sister keeper? Yes, I am. I believe that we all we got. And that's important. If you believe it, we can achieve it. I believe even though many of us don't. And you know something? I'm glad you said that, Anthony, because it's the ones that do believe that matter. Because if you really believe it, you will set out on a path to make sure. We're going to talk about this. You're going to set out on a path to be a disruptor in your own family. You're going to be a disruptor in your own community because you believe something that now you say, okay, how do we accomplish what we believe? Listen, how many of y'all have children? How many of y'all have children and never, okay, hold on, let me put another one. I'm going to start another one. How many of y'all were children and were introduced to business and business ethics? How many of y'all now have children and never introduce your children business ethics and business and money know-how? Somebody put in their feed money know-how. Listen, once you know how to make money and you know some systems to go around it, the mindset, once the mind begins to believe, then the mind believes it can achieve. So somebody can put that in the feed. Once you believe, you begin to achieve. Because I started to realize when I got on crack cocaine, I knew what I had to do. I just knew. I went back to when I was a little boy. I was a little boy learning how to take people's money legally, morally, and ethically. Powerful, ain't it? When I got on crack cocaine and heroin and alcohol and all that, I realized that I knew how to make money. And I began to process, and I started to work on it. This is why I said, now I'm getting ready to elevate now. I'm 60 years old, April. I'm getting ready to elevate. I've done a lot for God's people on the grassroots, and I ain't finished yet. But I'd rather help you from up here than help you from down here. I don't have to stay down here to elevate so I can help you. I can help you better from up here than I can down here. What's up, Kim? What's up, sister? Good to see you. I see you invited somebody in. Awesome. She said, Marcus. Chantel said, yes, it's imperative to give our children a head start on financial economics. I mean, see, this is the deal. We start off with our children, and we realize at some point we start having grandchildren. And it's introducing, my granddaughter is in this building almost practically every day of the week, Monday through Friday. I was listening to my granddaughter. She was laughing at me because I started saying, hola, ¿qué pasa? And she started laughing because she's learning Spanish. And she's 5 years old. So I said, uno, dos, tres, cuatro. And she just laughed. And then she started to go past that. She started getting up into the bigger numbers. I don't even know. Siete, ocho, nueve. But she started singing it. They always put on some songs and start singing more. It just rattles my brain to see my grandchildren grow. Now she's counting money in Spanish. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Let's invite some people in. HJ, so I did it. I did say HJ Russell. Thank you, Aunt. Now, it was on PBS, the HJ Russell story, and I missed it. And so somebody texted me to research HJ Russell. And I think I bet you I can get his story on video. I can get it. I know I can. Let me see. Somebody please text me. Say, please check out H.J. Russell's story. I need to get in there. Somebody please text me right now if you get a chance. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Events, when I get better, I will go live when I get out of the hospital. Okay. I appreciate it. There you go. Money know-how. That's what I'm talking. Money know-how. Once your children get a whiff, let me back up. Once you get a whiff of that money know-how, it's easier to transfer. We gotta do it. My children's mother blocked me from that. And see, and that's a terrible thing. But I guarantee you, if you have anybody else, if you're a community, how many community leaders do we have on this line tonight? Just put it, say, I'm a community leader. I'm talking about literally now, you're a community activist. You're in the community, you're doing things to help the community because you are the next, one of the next phase of your activism needs to be economic evangelism. A bold new movement for financial improvement where we need to get together and begin to bridge the gap between the church, the business community, and grassroots economics. Okay, watch that. I'm gonna show you something in a second. Okay, because I told them about my business in the like the product. There you go. Q said LOI. Okay, there's Lori. That's probably somebody you know. Jeremy, glad you could join. Dr. Simon's on the line. Hopefully they'll put themselves in so we can see who they are. I am. There we go. I accept the challenge. Okay. So this is getting great. And I want you all to do yourself a favor. Because now we're getting ready. Okay, hold on. Let me finish this. Then we get ready to get into this nitty gritty. H.J. Russell story, Bill Bull Black. Okay, there it is. Black Panther, African American history. Bill Russell, 1930. There we go. So he came, I think, from a slavery situation. Sister Chantel said, money know-how. My father introduced me to entrepreneurship at a young age. I didn't understand it back then. I just knew he was a firefighter and owned a store. When I opened my daycare center, I realized being a business owner came from my father. And this is your legacy. Your son is going to be a beast. Once he starts to grab it and he understands it, he's been exposed to a lot of business entrepreneurial stuff. So your son is in great shape. He's just still young, you know? But I'm telling you, I met a 22-year-old the other day from Ohio. His mother literally told him, you got to meet Sir Markedu. You got to meet him. Now let me see if I can, let me see. Hold on. Oh, this is powerful. Oh, this is so powerful. Let me see. He was in here, and he's on the road right now, and I wanted him to chime in today. I don't know if let me see, 617. Okay, Shanna. There he is, right there. All right, here we go. Young, I mean, awesome young man. You could just tell he wanted to. Reach the voicemail box. Okay, there's his voicemail. So let's keep going. Cause we get ready to talk. We get ready to tell some stories. Thank you. But I need you to text that to me. I need you to text it to me. See, it's better that you text that to me. So if you text it to me, I can get it. If you just put it in the feed, okay, let's go. Let's do this. I remember. Let me put this up so we'll know where we're at. Okay. Creating a business legacy for our children and grandchildren. I'm just gonna talk about my past right now. I remember when I was a little boy, and I was about 8 years old, and I was real playful, you know, and I would always talk to older people, but I got molested when I was 8, and I was so traumatized that my mind started to react. I don't know why it did that, but it did. It started to identify with economics. and I would pay close attention to commercials and on TV. And I would go to the store with my mother, and I would pay attention to how she was shopping, and I would watch how they would exchange money with the teller, and sometimes I would float away from my mother, which ain't a good practice, I guess, with kids. But I would float around. My mother would call my name from in the store. She know I could react to her voice, and she said, "Where you at? Where you been?" And I was just up front, and I would be up front, and I'd be looking at the cashier pushing the stuff through. You know, back then they were keying it in, hand keying it in. They had no electronics like they have now, and or bar scans, or nothing like that. And it was just, I was fixated on how they would take the money from people and the products, the brands they were buying. It was intriguing how my mother, or even going to my neighbors or my friend's house, and they would have some of the products in the house or brands that were on TV. And it intrigued me. As I grew up, as I got a little older, I got around 9 years old, I began to piece together a system. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was doing it. And by the time I was 10 years old, I began to use those systems. Now, let me tell you what the system is. I realized, and this is why it's important to me, what we're talking about right now about creating business legacy for our children and our grandchildren. And I realized that my mother was buying these brands, and I realized, I said, the first system that I put together was the brand. Today we call it the 5 Principles to International Marketing, which you can find on YouTube until I take it down. I realized that people were buying particular brands. Even this is what you got. I'm talking about dealing with you, creating these business legacies. It's the know-how. When you now listen to me carefully, get some pen and paper. Tell your children it's about the brands. And once I realized that my mother was smoking a certain cigarette brand, Pall Malls, and I realized that certain people were smoking Camels and Cools, Salem's, though came on a little later, but Winston's were out there. So, but the Camels were out there for sure. And these brands, I realized, found themselves inside people's homes. So the next step to it was the marketing. And this, now I'm 9 years old, I'm piecing this together. I said, the brands, that's the important thing, is these brands, they buying these brands. And then I said, okay, because I would hear the commercials, and even back then it said, we're the world's #1 brand. So I said, okay, the brand. I said, how are they moving these brands? Through marketing. And I'm saying, what are they using? That was number 2. Number 1 is the brand. Number 2 was the marketing. And then I was like, how are they getting people to choose one brand from the next in most cases? And I said, oh, psychology. They would talk about their brand, talk about how it was the #1 brand. I mean, back then they had stuff on TV like VO, Seagram's. They had liquor. And they were marketing liquor brands on TV. So I would see this stuff. My mother, they were drinking these brands. So the psychology was important. This is what I'm teaching these when I go and do these events or I do a speaking engagement, and you all should is use these principles, because Walmart came out, and this is why it's important to create these business legacies. Walmart, they're all using McDonald's. They are subconsciously grabbing our children, not only by their minds, but by their throats. I mean, they are choking our children to death with these brands. Tommy Hilfiger, you name it, Gucci, you name it. And what we need to be mindful of is that we need to be teaching our own branding and marketing to our children to show them products and services that they can use so they can sell to make money. I'm getting there. Brand, marketing, psychology. Simplicity was the name of the game. They made it real easy for people through commercials and through print media. Magazines, coupons. My mother was using those S&H stamps. It was amazing how they would use psychology and simplicity to get us to buy products that they want. So that's number 4. We got branding, marketing, psychology, simplicity, and the last but not least is duplication. They just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. That's how simple it is. Heavenly Body Products and Chronic Killer. The more it's out there, the more they want. I'm getting ready to get a little deeper in a second. Watch this. Did you text me? He said, what number? Just text me. Make sure you put your name and everything in there so I'll know it's you. Did you get it? Okay. Okay. There you go. Thank you, Queen. Appreciate you. Check your text for ACH. Powerful. Now, let me ask you this. Who else is teaching us economics? Who? I want to know who is in your family, your friends, your in-laws, and your outlaws. Who is talking to you about educating your children? Your children and your grandchildren. How many of y'all right now, tell the truth, that don't even bother teaching your children and grandchildren anything about economics? Don't even bother. Say, I jump in the feet and say, I don't teach them anything. I don't teach my children anything. I don't teach my grandchildren. I don't teach my children and my grandchildren anything about economics. That don't make you a bad person. What it is I want to get you to a point where you got to get aligned with reality. And bad things happen to good people. What do I mean by that? Because of the lack of economics, we end up making choices that we never thought we would ever make. Let me tell you something. And I know some of you heard me say this before. God is in the blessing business. God is in the blessing business. Can somebody help me put that in the feed? God is in the blessing business. How many of y'all pray to God for breakthroughs? How many times have we sat and we said, God, do this for me? There you go. I think I see it come to check out the. Now, whose number is that? You make sure you put your name in there. How many of us pray to God for breakthrough and for economic advancement? Now, let me ask you this. How many of you really believe your prayer to God? And how many of you believe that it's going to happen just the way you prayed it? Let me tell you something. Prayer is one of the first priorities. That is one of the first things that you're going to need to do almost anything. Let me ask you a question. What's the next thing that you're going to need? Oh, this is a great book right here. You know what? I listened to Napoleon Hill. I didn't like the way he was doing it. I like the way Dennis was doing it. I mean, it was right to the point. It was practical and to the point. That's just me. I mean, I listened to Dennis Kimbro, Think and Go Rich, and Black Choice about 50 times. But I listened to it on audio. I read it on audio. I listened to it. It took me a couple of years to do it. But I mean, it played in my head. It played in my head. I realized that people debate about if they should be making money or not. Dennis Kimbro and Think and Go Rich, and Black Choice, I think it needs to be what's the word I want to use? Mandatory. I believe it needs to be mandatory that your children, you get with your children and read Think and Grow Rich and Black Choice. I'm telling you, it did something to me. I realized how powerful this man was. And I tell you, one day I was just riding down the road, and I said, that's Dennis Kimbro. They said, no. I said, yes, it is. That's Dennis Kimbro walking down the street down here, right down here in Decatur. And so I pulled over and I shook his hand, took a picture with him, and I said, turn that radio up a little bit. I said, you know what that? He said, that's me. That's my book, Think and Grow Rich. And he was so impressed that he got my address and he sent me another one of his books. That's powerful. God is in the blessing business, so are we. You better believe it. You know, you know how many people you can touch? Regardless if you sell it to them to get in business, you know how many people you can really touch and say, Chronic Killer, get with the company. God is in the blessing business. So is it. Yes, we are his reps. Believe that. Q, go ahead, Q. I pray every day and night. Watch this. Auto suggestion is repetition that we need in positive realm. Let me tell you something. Here we go. Brother Kimbro was a professor. Was or still is? I mean, I don't know if it was or still is. Somebody please Google that real quick, but I think he still is unless he just left there. Let me say this to you. and I don't mean no disrespect to nobody, what is the next thing you have to do after you pray and asking God? You got to work. Put it in the feet, say, got to work. Now, God is, you pray, you know what you want, and now it's time to go to work. Plain and simple. We have prayed ourselves into the depths, and we still are not getting the things we want. Why? Because we haven't put the work with the prayer. Prayer without works is dead. But I got news for you. Works without prayer is dead as well. You better, what he said? Okay. Q said, I'm not sure, but he was there when I was there back in the day. Yes, indeed. I think he's still there. Somebody Google that real quick. You gotta go to work after all that prayer, all that praying. Let me tell you why. I remember when I got off drugs. I got off the crack cocaine, the heroin and stuff, and I said, God, please help me. Give it to me, Lord. Just tell me what I need to do. And one morning I woke up and said, T-shirts. Get you some religious T-shirts. I got those religious T-shirts, and I still got some now. I still sell religious T-shirts. And when I did those religious T-shirts, baby, I went from selling on the corner. I was on the corner of McAfee and Cameron Road. Anybody ever know? Back in 93, 94. Now, March, April. And I sold so many T-shirts. And I got into the sock business. I sold so many T-shirts and socks that I had to open up a store. I sold so many T-shirts and socks one year, I made about $500,000. Because when you pray to, when I pray to, I'm gonna keep it personal. When I pray to God, I mean it. I mean it, but I know I gotta do the work. I just hope right now that God just extends his hand and to my brothers and sisters, Lord. Just to reach out and touch them and help their children, Father. It's about their children, Lord, and the grandchildren. We're asking you, Father, right now to extend a mighty hand to reach the doers and not just the sayers. Hear their prayers, Lord. But Father, I'm asking you to hear the prayers of our brothers and sisters that have a prayer honesty for their own children and their grandchildren. Do that for me, Lord. I'm asking you, Father. While you're in there, while you're hearing their prayers, I want you to hear my prayers, Lord. I want to take my business to another dimension, Father. I'm ready to leapfrog. I'm ready to leapfrog over steps. I want to leapfrog over the next level. I'm ready to grow this business, Father, like I never grew it before. I believe I'm ready, Lord. But I can't do it by myself. I need leaders, Father. Give me the great leaders in our community right now. Release them, Father. We need each other, Father. And I'm just going to say this humbly, Father. I want to thank you right now in advance because you know where I'm next. You know what I'm up to, Father. And you know I'm just 1 degree away. But to disrupt poverty in our community. Not just in this community, Father, but communities all over the world. I'm ready to work with other companies, Father, that's out there that's ready to advance your people, Father. So I'm asking you to do this in your name, Father. Amen. Hot dog. I'm feeling it now. You don't even know. I'm telling you, I'm talking about leapfrogging over levels. I'm going to dimensions. I'm telling you. Get your ass up and act. You know what I'm talking about. Now, if this is a real raw talk, you know I would have took it to another place. Don't pray and sit on it. Pray and walk it out. And I'm glad you said that because you know how many people I said, I put my foot on that. I put my foot on the Bible. They say something, you know. I'm standing on it. I'm standing on this prayer. Standing on it. You better get your feet off it and get moving. I tell you, I have people tell me, oh, God, you know, I believe God's going to give it to me. You know, it's in my prayer. God going to give it to me. And I'm not Bible bashing, I'm not church bashing or none of that. You know how it is in church when they start saying a lot of you know, you're gonna advance, you know, there's gonna be checks in the mail, there's gonna be this and that. People are gonna get checks in the mail anyway, it's coming, regardless if the pastor said so. Your career and your advancement is in your hands. You can pray and let go and get moving. Because if you think that you believe that God is going to just hand you over a bunch of stuff, you think that God's going to hand you over a bunch of stuff and just because you prayed for it, don't hold your breath. When we are talking about our children and our children's children, that is an action. You have to be actively pursuing reading with your children, your grandchildren, hustling with your children, your grandchildren, actually going into the market and come on over to the warehouse where there's, or definitely go on the website. How many of us know people that have been in the joint, man, that's having a tough time? They're out now. They've been messing around in the community, working. How many us ex-drug dealers and ex-drug users got back into the workforce and miserable? Straight miserable. God almighty, no. Well, they need to come and be a part of a bold new movement for financial improvement. Tell them to go over there and check out that Chronic Killer, especially them ex-weed dealers and stuff. Tell them to go to the wholesale. Then go to the wholesale packages right there and watch what happens. Watch when you begin to bring your children, your grandchildren. You gotta have practical application. You gotta have stuff that's easy to sell, body oil, shea butter, black soap, stuff that your kids, they can see that money right away. We get ready to start developing websites soon. You'll see. I can show you better. I can tell you. Well, folks, I'm going to take these minutes to wind down. Is there any questions? If you have a company or business or organization, it needs to be put in the feed. Standing on the word. I'm standing. You know how many times I've heard that? And even as a kid, I didn't understand that. I said, like, why do you want to stand? Maybe I never got nobody to explain it to me. Why would you want to just stand on the word instead of just moving with the word? Oh, Christ. Gotta roll. But blessings, brother. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm getting ready to wrap it up. I don't have to do a solid hour to make it right. People need to read their Bible every day. Really? Okay. There's one thing of reading it, and there's another one is to believe in it. That's straight laziness, waiting for God to do for us what he or she has already given us the power to do. I want to thank you. And I want to thank God for allowing me to be, just an instrument of his power. Our children and our grandchildren are dependent on us. You will be surprised what your children are going to do when they start having children. It's happening to me right now. Having my son here, having my daughter here, and their children got a chance to see Grandpapa do his thing. Come on, man. We get ready to take it to the next dimension. Well, you'll see what I'm talking about. You're gonna see. It's all about God's mercy and his grace. Donations for vacations, pay it forward sponsors is needed for our community assistance for family entrepreneurs and would like to include everybody. Amen. Well, Anthony, we definitely got to communicate. I'm real focused on our youth and young adults and how we bring products and services into their world. If that's what this is all about, I'm down by law. Trust me. I'm telling you, I am real focused right now on things that I'm doing. I just don't have a lot of time to do outside things. I will expose you. That's why I said, always put your name, phone number, and all that in the feed, and let our associates, you'll have my number. You call me, you just sit with me. Like I said, I'm real focused on really moving these products the right way. There it is. Feel free to call me or text me and say, hey, let's get together, let's do some work. And that's what I want to do. I just want to thank you all, man, for chiming in and being the blessings that you are. Do some One Wellness, Derek. That's what I'm talking about. How are we going to do business with each other and we don't even have access to you? I just never could figure that out. It's just people, you all come on these feeds and you don't put your business in the street is beyond me. Applying the word is key, So, yes, sir. There it is. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please go down the feed and like and love on the things that you heard tonight that make sense to you to like and love. And please share this broadcast with people right now. If you're not doing it, just put share and put it in the right people. Listen, pastors, preachers, clergy, business leaders, teachers, educators, this is what it's all about. It's our children and our children's children. We be playing games with our folk, our young people, and we got to stop. We got to stop for a minute and stop playing games. Powerful. How many of us really have these children? We don't do nothing with them. Yeah, thank you, sister. I appreciate that. There you go. It's that simple. When you're on my feeds, y'all need to be firing away. Phone numbers, email addresses. Stop playing. How can we do business with you that's going to help support each other's families? What do you have to offer that I can resell or I can introduce it to be resold? Hey, I appreciate y'all. I love you, but I appreciate you more. I hope that God blesses every breath and every step you take. We need each other, y'all, because that's all we got. We all we got. And that's definitely enough. I want to thank my brother Evan Jefferson for being a part of my life, the Black Billionaires Club. Please go over there and check it out. I just want you guys to stay in peace, not in pieces, okay? Enjoy the rest of your night. And don't forget to take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Peace, love, and community service. And remember, when you master community service, you will master customer service. Have an awesome night, everybody. Peace and love.